What defines a great leader? Is it power? Wealth? A grand legacy? Today, we uncover the final choices of a man who saved France, yet rejected honor, a leader who could have had everything but chose humility. This is the story of Charles de Gaulle, the man who put his country before himself. Charles de Gaulle was a hero who saved France and a leader who dedicated everything to his country and people. However, his final choices were just as moving as his life itself. In 1970, the great leader who had once saved France passed away. His will was simple, yet filled with strong convictions. My funeral should be a private family affair. Do not allow the president or ministers to attend. He refused to have politicians at his funeral. Instead, he gave permission only to those who had fought alongside me on the battlefields of World War II for the liberation of France. To him, the most precious thing was not a grand state ceremony, but the camaraderie and sacrifices of his fellow soldiers. The French government respected his wishes and held a memorial service at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. However, the president and ministers did not attend. Instead, they paid their respects in silence from their offices, honoring his final request. Throughout his life, de Gaulle often said, "I was merely a soldier who fought for France. I shall take my last journey as a soldier." And just as he had wished, his final farewell was not one of power and honor, but one of humility and loyalty to his comrades. De Gaulle had a beloved daughter who was born with a disability. He loved her deeply, and even after she passed away, he always carried her in his heart. In his will, he stated, "When I die, bury me next to my beloved daughter." He did not want to be laid to rest in a grand national cemetery or under a magnificent monument. He simply wished to rest beside his daughter, in the place where his heart truly belonged. And so Charles de Gaulle found eternal peace next to the daughter he had cherished so much. Many expected the grave of such a great leader to be grand and elaborate. However, he made one last request: "Keep my gravestone simple. Inscribe only my name and the years of my birth and death." As a result, his tombstone bears only a single inscription: Charles de Gaulle, 1880-1970. Even in death, he refused to glorify himself. He did not wish to be remembered as a hero, but simply as a Frenchman and a soldier who had fought for his country. After leaving office, the French government offered de Gaulle a presidential pension. They also planned to provide financial support to his family after his passing. However, de Gaulle firmly refused. "I will not take a single penny from the state. Use that money for the poor." In accordance with his wishes, the government redirected the pension funds that would have been given to him and his family to a trust fund for the elderly and orphans. Even after his death, he remained a leader who truly served his people. Since de Gaulle's family did not receive any financial support from the government, they struggled to maintain his birthplace and retirement home. Eventually, they had no choice but to sell it. However, recognizing the significance of his legacy, a local nobleman purchased the estate and donated it to the government. Today, it has been preserved as the Charles de Gaulle Memorial. His family faced financial difficulties, but respected his wishes and never sought compensation or privileges. Charles de Gaulle dedicated his entire life to France. He was a hero who saved his country, yet he never sought power or personal gain. His choices leave us with a profound question: what makes a true leader? De Gaulle saved France, yet he asked for nothing in return. He loved his people, and even in death, chose to serve them. His life and final decisions teach us the true meaning of dedication and leadership. Charles de Gaulle, 1880-1970. This simple inscription encapsulates the spirit of a man who shaped an era. Charles de Gaulle had power, but he never clung to it. He had wealth, but he gave it away. He had the chance for eternal glory, but he chose humility. A leader is not measured by how much they gain, but by how much they give. His story is a reminder that true greatness is not in titles or riches, but in serving others with an honest heart.